to another edition of Slice Off Rice the podcast. It's episode 12 now. Been going strong. As you can see, I got a new little backdrop going here. So today's guest, he has his own podcast. He's actually about to produce his 60th episode. Pretty big milestone. He also is big in fitness. He's been working out for almost 10 years now. So he's definitely had a big fitness journey, transformation over the years. My guest today is Mr. Casey Crutchfield.
Thank you so much. And just before we get started, I want to say congratulations because 12th episode is still a big milestone. You know, my motto is that any episode you move on to is a big milestone because it just shows that you're keeping on going and something you care about, like this podcast, and how you're consistently upgrading, you know, and hopefully the equipment will be even more a little bit. But I want to say congratulations to you.
Appreciate you. Congratulations to you, man. Like you said, it's definitely podcasting, just like anything else.
Yeah.
Just like working out, it can be challenging, you know, staying consistent. It's a good opportunity. I work with a lot of people. It's an opportunity to meet a lot of different people and learn a lot about different walks of life. But just like anything else, you got to put some time. You got to dedicate some time to it, you know, as far as setting up appointments and doing your research on guests and whatnot. It all goes hand in hand. So it's not always easy. You know, you got to have a passion.
And a lot of discipline too.
Oh yeah. So I guess Casey, go ahead and give the audience a little background about yourself, where you grew up, what high school you went to, and where your work history, and why you decided to get into podcasting.
Yeah, no problem. So, like you said, my name's Casey, and I'm from Backbasher, Louisiana. I went to the E.D. White High School, and that's kind of how I got connected to the Wellness Center when I hit 10th grade. Me and my stepdad, we decided to start going to the gym together. He's always been a big fitness guy. Bryce knows he's seen him. He's got like 20-inch biceps. He's ripped. And, you know, he just kind of gave me that motivation to go to the gym. Before then, I was never really big into the gym. And, like, whenever we'd have, like, PE at school and go lift weights, you know, I just kind of make through the motions, you know. Maybe go off in the back so coach wouldn't see me do all the reps. And I'm not doing all the weight like the thing. And to be honest, I think at that time, it was at a point where, like, the workout really wasn't, like, it's just, all right, you're doing bench, clean, and squat. And that's it. Those are the only 3 exercises you do. And I was honestly a twig, really. I mean, Bryce can vouch for me. If you go look at my, for anyone who works at the Wellness, if you see my scanned card, it probably see 15-year-old me.
2017.
Because we got a membership, like, right when it opened. Because I remember going. Wasn't it like a free month for the first?
I believe so, yeah.
It was something like that. And, so me and my dad, we started going every day. We'd meet up at 3 o'clock after school. That was our time. And through there, I really just started to get a passion for the gym. He really, I guess just having someone else with there, and especially someone close with my dad, because me and him have a really close relationship. So just being able to have him there, and I mean, like I said, you know, he knows what he's doing. He's taught me everything in the gym, and so having such a good coach like that, just to tell me, like, you know, it's not all about the weight or it's not about this. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have pretty good genetics, so the results started to show, and they started to show, and honestly, it's just kind of gotten to the point where. Even like if we can't even make it, that I'm still gonna make it a priority to go to the gym. And like Bryce said, it's almost been 10 years, and honestly, I don't really see myself not at some point in my life not going to the gym. You know, even when I still try to transition into working, because right now I'm in graduate school, but I think the gym will always kind of be a part of me. And for sure.
It's a big part of your life, big part of your routine. You know?
Definitely. It's a routine thing for sure. And I think it's just kind of gotten to the point where it's not like, oh, I got to go to the gym. Like, it's like, oh, wow, I didn't go.
Right.
You know, like I told you off camera today, I didn't make it, but I'm gonna make sure, even though Friday is not my favorite day to go, but I'm gonna make sure I'm there.
For sure, gonna make up for it. So I tell people all the time, like, sorry to miss a day going on.
Yeah.
Next time you come to the gym, just put a little bit more effort in. Do a little bit more than what you normally do. It's not going nowhere if you miss 1 or 2 days. Maybe on a little bit you need the recovery time to make it to
No,
get results.
You definitely do.
I know, like, I've seen you and your dad going for the past 7 years. I consider y'all been consistent. They got people come and go.
I'd like to say that we're one of the more consistent people.
For sure. For sure. Almost same time every day. Yeah,
and it's going to be the same workouts that we do. I mean, we'll change things up a little. One of the things we used to do a lot of bench with the bar. And then probably when I got to college, we transitioned to the dumbbells just because just kind of gives you a different shock. And honestly, it's harder to do the dumbbells. Really.
Right. I would say dumbbells are better for like muscle growth.
Yeah.
Versus lifting is more. I mean, of course, you're gonna grow muscle with strength. You can push more weight with the barbells and stuff.
Finally made it to the hundreds.
But like with those dumbbells, like you get it even. Like you say, you're doing chest press. You get it even on your side versus with the bar, like your stronger side is naturally gonna take over.
Yeah, and I have some wrist problems, so doing the heavy weight with the bar.
Yeah, kind of hurts. Right, because you're kind of stuck in that fixed spot. So that definitely makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So to touch up on the podcast, and I was actually featured on Casey's podcast a few months ago. I think it was episode 42.
Something like that. So I was in the 40s for sure.
Yeah. We had talked about it for a while, but one thing I mentioned on this podcast is that as far as me getting into podcasting, you were definitely a big inspiration from watching stuff like that. Episodes of Quinn and all them.
Yeah, that was the first thing.
Seeing you doing other people that just never did it. Watching you get successful and seeing niggas what's doing, you might want to say,
yeah.
So what inspired you to get in the podcast?
Great question. So going into my senior year, the summer of my undergrad, I was really getting into listening to podcasts. Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, the Nightcap podcast. Those were all things that I listened to. And I was just at a point where I knew I was kind of transitioning out of my fraternity, and I was heavily into that just because I like to stay busy. Especially with school, I find like if I don't have anything on my plate, I'll slack from school. So I like to make myself busy to where I gotta like make sure it's a priority of time. And I just kind of got the idea that I'd like to do a podcast. Definitely telling like just some of my friends like, hey, I think I'm gonna start a podcast. I felt like I could talk well. I felt like I had some interesting things to say. It's a good outlook, and I was pretty confident that I could do it. It was definitely tough. There were a lot of rough moments before even the cameras got rolling. No one around here at the time was doing a podcast, and I'm not a big tech guy, so one big challenge was just learning about all of that. There was a lot of looking up on the internet, on the phone with Best Buy, joining Facebook group chats to ask what's an interface and how does this even work? And, just buddies from my fraternity who are good with electronics, they helped me out. And, those are the people who I'm most blessed for, because without them, it probably wouldn't be where it's at today. And I'm glad I just didn't start off jump, because I think, going into all this research I wanted to do, I think it was just a testament to me that I knew that this is actually something that I'm going to take serious and that I'm going to want to do. And then fast forward to about January, I was fortunate enough after Christmas, use that Christmas money to buy the rest of my equipment. And my parents, they even met me halfway because a lot of it did cost a lot. Yeah, it adds up. I'll just say that. But finally got it all, and then from January to about May, I was figuring out how to use the costumes, all of the equipment, making sure everything was right. And then I decided to film the first 4 episodes, and then I decided to refilm 2 of them because I'm like, I can do better. Like something's not right, and I'm really blessed that I did do that because not that the first episode's not going to be perfect. It never will be. And I went and watched it the other day, and I was terrible to compare now.
Just good to see how far you.
Yeah, it just shows how far you've grown, and I'm glad that I took that step. And it's just a fun thing to do. I really enjoy it. At first, it was a little nervous because one, like I said, no one was really doing that, and two, people are so quick to judge when you do something differently, or just have something differently. They're quick to say like, "Oh, that's weird," or "Why would you do something?" Yeah, there's definitely a lot of criticism. And to be honest, I've always been a person to kind of ignore criticism. I don't know if we talked about this on my podcast, probably not. And this kind of is a side story, but when I was 16, I got diagnosed with epilepsy. And, that was a whole journey within itself. We do a whole podcast about that specifically. But basically, that just kind of gave me my outlook on life, on why I want to be a counselor. And I'm sure we'll talk about that after. But just having that experience of almost dying, you just take so much for granted. And so why would I care about if someone comments this text on my podcast? Like, I'm just grateful to be able to do this and have someone on and be able to just be alive and, be here to talk with you. Right. So I just put all of that to the side and just keep going. I'm blessed to have everyone in my corner. I do a lot of it on my own, but there's definitely people who've helped me along the way with getting certain guests. But, a lot of the filming, editing, that's just all me. I enjoy it. And I'm sure you understand too because you do a podcast. It's definitely been a ride. I don't plan on quitting anytime soon. I know at some point I'm going to not be in college anymore, so it might be a little bit harder, but my outlook is just that we'll address that when the time comes. Right. We're just going to take it episode by episode. Right. I think that's the only thing you can really do.
Right. I mean, the podcast and doing things like this, like you're creating a legacy.
Yeah.
Years from now, people are going to look back and they're going to know who Casey Crutchfield was, who Bryson Kidd was,
Definitely.
You're leaving your stamp. You're making a positive impact on a lot of people's lives.
Yes, definitely.
So you've gone on episode 60 now. Just kind of talk a little bit about the episodes you got coming up, any projects you got coming up. Are there any particular episodes that kind of stand out to you?
So I love hearing that question. The best thing about it is that every guest is going to bring something different to the table. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the best part about podcasting. Even if you have someone on twice, you're probably not going to talk about the same thing. One episode that sticks out to me the most, and probably just because it recently just did it, was my episode with Hick Jeremy. Hick's a great person. I knew him before we do the podcast. He came talk to us at school. And I just knew from then that I didn't know I was going to be doing the podcast by then, but I always knew that I was going to have him on at some point. Just his story. You probably can't see it that well in the episode, but I was definitely wiping my eyes a lot. I had tears in my eyes for sure, because just hearing a story like that, that really hit me. Yeah, it really did. And as far as future guests are concerned, right now we're kind of in a little filming stage, trying to get guests, and it's a little bit troubling right now with school starting, but I always figure it out. Some weeks and some months I'll have 4 episodes saved, and then other weeks I'll be looking like 5 days before to get this upcoming week's guest. I always keep a list of people. There's people that I've reached out to and we're still planning schedules. Nice. Yes, and I actually just had someone on. I'm not going to say who it is, but my audio got messed up in the episode, so we're redoing it. So I'm really excited for that one. As far as future is concerned, one big thing I have planned is having my hats come out. gonna be meeting with someone about that. I was gonna do it through online, but I recently did a podcast with Jack Meyer, and he kind of hooked me up with this website of these people he knows from Homa. So I'm gonna reach out to them about it instead and kind of show them my design that I had planned, and maybe they can put their input on it because I'm no graphic designer. But has been something I've always liked. I'm not a big person myself, but I know a lot of people down here like hats, and I think the name of the podcast, this is a good fit for a hat. I think any person in general would just want to wear a hat that says enjoy life because, who doesn't want to enjoy life?
Yeah.
And, if you make a good design, people will wear it. So I'm excited for those to come out. And definitely some other things that I'm going to be doing is giveaways. I know me and Jack talked about doing an Acadia Music Fest ticket giveaway. My future plans, I'd like to get more guests on from downtown, like businesses and stuff, and I'd like to connect with them and maybe do giveaways since a lot of my viewership is here. And just a little way to give back. Another thing I'll have planned is my toy drive that I say always do, but last year was the first one, and we ended up raising like $4,000. Truly blessed for that, and that was just an experience within itself, delivering the presents and stuff. So definitely gonna do that again. But as far as that, that's about it for the podcast. I'm super excited for this. I said in my earlier podcast in July, I'm excited for August. But now that August is here, I'm really excited to see things kind of go into play in September, get those hats out, and I'm excited.
Definitely some awesome things coming down the pipeline, man. Yeah, just got to keep pushing. There's some big things on the horizon for sure.
Definitely. And there are some days where I definitely don't feel like doing it or don't feel like editing that clip, but that's when you got to remember what you're here for. So, yeah. Always remember your why.
Speaking of hats, I really gotta give a shout out to the ladies and been fighting with the Orange Challenge they did a few weeks ago, raising money for cancer awareness. It's pretty much a challenge where you can run at your own pace, one of the as many miles you can document. The whole purpose of it was raising money for cancer awareness. Rafe and then a few others did 100 miles in one weekend, which is
I did too, and it felt like 100.
I was looking it up. It's like the distance from here to the Village Buttons, which is like in Waveland, Mississippi. That's great.
Yeah.
So next time I go to Bucky's, I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah, I always give my flowers to Rafe and Ben. Those are they're both different for sure.
That's something great. There's not too many people that can do it. They have the arms to do that.
For sure.
So the next topic I want to kind of touch upon is: are there any other hobbies that you have besides the podcast, besides working, or are there any podcast shows that you regularly listen to?
So, like I said, I really liked the Theo Vaughn and Joe Rogan and all those. But I'm not gonna lie, as of recent, I really haven't been listening to them. I'd probably say most because kind of been busy. Like I said, I'm in grad school right now for clinical mental health, and we go through the whole like summer everything. So I only really had like a week and a half break, and I was sick for some of it. So I haven't been listening to any podcasts recently. As far as hobbies are concerned, one thing that really means a lot to me is just hanging out with my friends. I have a very close-knit group of friends. Some of them we've been friends since 4th grade, and some of them I've met in college, and, they're all really close. And, what really makes me happy is just being able to hang out with them, whether we're chilling at the house, watching a game, or if we're going bowling and betting money on it, or whatever we do, it's a good time. That's really, probably my best hobby. Spending time with them a lot.
Oh, for sure. And it's hard, man. Like, I'm sure, after high school, everybody kind of goes a separate way. Yeah. You have a group of tight-knit friends. Yeah. That's a great thing in itself.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm blessed because all 3 of my roommates, we've gone to school since 4th grade. They've gone to school since kindergarten. I'm kind of the right guy of the group, but we've been super close. So
that's over 10 years of friendship.
Yeah.
friendship. So next thing I wanted to ask you, this is a question I've asked quite a few of my guests. So you're making a gym playlist. What's like three? Let's say like three artists that you gotta have on.
That's a great question. It could literally be anything. My music taste goes all over the place. I feel like as I've gone into college, I've always had a thing for country and rap. I've kind of switched to appreciating more of like 80s stuff and just like rock and stuff. That was never my type of thing. And I'm also still to this day, I'm not on like the 2000s rock. Like I don't listen to Green Day or any of that. I listen to Nickelback, but like Green Day, that's not really my favorite. But as far as the gym, probably rap, I'd probably go with Lil Wayne. Rock music, anything like AC/DC or I'll take that, yeah. Sometimes the white girl music, like I'll put on Baby by Justin Bieber before, and I'll feel
sleep on it.
No,
don't sleep on
it. And recently, I'm a big movie guy. I love superheroes too, and just want to see. Well, I didn't just see it, but the Superman movie came out this summer, and with the electric guitar, it sounds fire. You should go listen to it. It's a good little. I'll walk into the gym maybe and listen to that. It's like kind of just put me in that mode. It's weird as that sounds, but yeah. But you know, the music taste is everywhere, especially in the gym. It depends on the day.
Right.
When stress and tries, you gotta listen to something serious.
Yeah, no, definitely a fan, man. I can go from one extreme to another. I can go from Kevin Gates to Johnny Cash. You know, it's just, it varies.
Definitely don't want to get caught lacking and have my phone start playing because somebody might see me through.
They might start judging. Yeah,
they might start judging me.
Yeah, but I'm definitely the same way. But Casey, it's been a pleasure, man. So just to kind of close out, you have anything that you want to leave the audience with?
If there's one thing I'd have to leave, like we just kind of said, always remember your why. I had that written up on my little calendar in my room, right outside my bed. So when I wake up, I can see that. It's important to write down things that you want and what you need because, you know, you see it every day and it just hits home, I guess you can say. And it's important to always remember your why because that's the fuel in the tank, you know?
Right.
And some days we kind of forget about that, especially if we have a tough moment. I don't like to say we have bad days because something that happens for maybe a minute or seconds or maybe even an hour, you have a bad hour. It's up to you if you're going to make it a bad day. You know? You can either toss it behind and keep going, remember your why, or you can just let it get to you. And, you know, I'm not perfect. I've definitely let things get to me. And that's all right, but I think at the end of the day, it's always important to remember your why, for sure.
Absolutely. I love that. And just kind of piggybacking off of that, one thing I tell people and one thing I try to do is I keep a list of goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. So I look, you know, maybe not every day, but at least once a week I look through that list. I'll be like, all right, short-term goals, stuff I want to accomplish within the next month. You know, whatever I accomplish this week. If there's anything I want to have, you know, that long-term goals, and I'm progressing toward these long-term goals. So progressing with these long-term goals, you know, kind of keeps you motivated.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great show. It's not just working out.
Yeah. Applies in any part of your life, for sure.
So, if somebody wants to follow you on social media or if they want to stream your podcast, what's some good handles for you?
Instagram is at Enjoy Life Pod, and so is my YouTube, and TikTok is at Enjoy Life Podcast. Go check it out. We drop episodes every Thursday, unless life gets hectic, then maybe we'll take a week off every now and then. I like to give myself some slack now. Used to be kind of hard on myself, but I'm learning. I'm my harshest. I don't care what anyone says because I'm my hardest critic for sure. No one will criticize anymore. But yeah, those are the handles. Love to have y'all stream some, but also just blessed to be able to come on here and talk. All the podcasts that we have out here in Thibodeau. Your podcast, Grant's, the Wolf Den. Everyone, I'm just glad that everyone can do something in general, whether it's doing a podcast or just a hobby or something. If we can kind of be that beacon of light or for why you wanted to do it, yeah, sure. I feel like
it's definitely a blessing. Go check Casey's podcast out. Remember to like and subscribe. And also remember to like and subscribe to this podcast. Share it with your friends, with your family. Thank y'all once again on another great episode. I'm Casey. Thank you for coming.
No problem. Anytime, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.